Hey, Charlie. I've loosely referenced my gender before, especially because I take so many online quizzes regarding gender. But there is so much joking and sarcasm and what's the word? What's the word? Gosh, my brain is like so asleep today. Satire, that's the word. So much satire on my channel regarding sexuality, gender, all of that, that it's gotten so convoluted, and I feel like 90% of people don't even know my gender or sexuality. Even in the past, when I've made videos talking about my gender specifically, I drop jokes in there and then I just muddy the waters all over again. So I decided to come on here and actually talk about my gender because it's something that's really fascinating to me. And I started thinking about this the other day because I watched a video that unpacked a study regarding the correlation between autism and being LGBTQ+. Now, for those of you who don't know, who live under a rock, perchance have been plugging their ears, closing their eyes, etc., I am autistic. So, this study was quite interesting to me. One of the things that the study found was that if you have autism, you are much more likely than average to be LGBTQ+. It actually went both ways as well. If somebody was LGBTQ+, then it was wise to get tested for autism or to consider that possibility. There's just such a strong relationship between autism and being LGBTQ+. And that's actually something that makes complete sense to me, because what I have noticed, at least in my own experience with autism, is that I don't fit into the norm, into whatever I'm supposed to be as a woman, as a girly girl woman. I've always felt a bit weird with extreme femininity. Not even extreme, like basic femininity. I'm not trans. Like, I don't feel a severe pull to masculinity. I just also don't fit in the box of being a feminine girl woman. My entire life, I didn't know I was autistic. I presented as neurotypical cisgender woman. But it always made me feel kind of like an alien. Kind of like I'm playing this part. Like I feel really awkward. Like there's a bit of cognitive dissonance and I'm struggling to even understand myself. And it's always been quite uncomfortable. And without even noticing it, in recent times, I've begun to express myself and my gender identity in a way that aligns much more with how I actually feel. And it makes me so much more confident, so much more happy. For example, I used to wear dresses and I used to wear makeup and I used to present in a very girly way. I would wear my hair down, which is really uncomfortable and gives me the most terrible of sensory issues. I didn't ever want a piercing, but in recent times, I've kind of experimented with other things, you know? I like wearing baggy, dark clothing. I like wearing this fake nose ring. Yes, it's fake. Fun fact. I know that was probably shocking for you. I like wearing this nose ring. I don't wear makeup anymore. I wear a little bit of makeup in my videos and streams. Right now I have lipstick on, and then I have a tiny bit of concealer because I have acne, and that's it. And it just makes me feel a lot more comfortable in my skin. Whoa, not hating on makeup. Shout out makeup. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable in my skin. It makes me feel a lot more confident. It feels to me like a slight pull in the direction of masculinity, but not like fully jumping into the deep end. You know what I'm saying? Something more along the lines of non-binary, although I do still feel a connection to femininity and my identity as a woman. So, for those of you who are LGBTQ scholars, you probably know the direction in which I'm going. After a couple months of deliberation, I landed on demigirl as my gender identity. Now, for those of you who don't know what demigirl is, let me pull up an actual definition for you so I'm not just saying shit. A demigirl is a gender identity for someone who partially identifies as a girl or woman, but not completely. So, I don't feel really drawn to being non-binary, I don't feel drawn to being a man, but I don't feel fully devoted to being a woman, and demigirl sounded perfect. It perfectly encapsulated my situation. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a girl, like, I kind of resonate with it, but not totally. And that just perfectly summed it up. Now, I want to tie back to that study that I referenced toward the beginning of the video about autism and gender. I think that part of the reason why I feel so comfortable identifying as a demigirl and really expressing myself in that way is because, due to my autism in my own personal experience, I don't really intrinsically get those societal norms. They don't come to me naturally. The social expectations and standards and the gender roles, they don't seem intuitive to me. To me, I'm just asking, like, why? Why do I have to be this way? Maybe other people are born with this understanding, and, like, cisgender people, maybe they're born with, like, this is my gender, I'm satisfied with it, this is how I want to express myself, and I'm not gonna question that. But to me, it feels different. It feels not as cut and dry. And by identifying as a cis woman, it actually feels like it's pulling me down, like it's chaining me down, because like I said before, I didn't feel comfortable back when I was not very feminine, just feminine. And I considered myself to be fully cis, you know, I never questioned any of that. I thought I was a straight cis girl. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I didn't feel comfortable in that identity. Like I said, I felt like an alien. And now, I feel like I'm allowing myself to be more aligned with my mental state, which is one of not really having that intrinsic understanding of societal norms. My brain doesn't fit into a box. Again, I think this has something to do with my autism, and I keep thinking back to that study that talked about the correlation between being LGBTQ+ and autism. I don't fit into a box. I don't have that intrinsic understanding of societal norms, of gender roles. They just don't click for me. Like, why do I have to wear a dress and, like, act this way if I'm a woman? Why can't men wear dresses? Like, all of those things that some people have as a natural, you know, innate understanding don't seem logical to me. I'm always asking why. It's because the explanation always seems to be because that's the way it is. Why don't men wear dresses all the time outside? Well, because that's the way it is. To me, that's like, why? I just feel contained. You know what I'm saying? And I feel so much happier and so much more comfortable and aligned with myself. I feel so much less cognitive dissonance when I express myself how I want and I don't chain myself to this identity of cis woman. Simultaneously, I feel so much happier and more comfortable in communities that are very accepting and very expressive. What am I going for? Communities that are accepting of all identities and are non-judgmental. Not judging how somebody expresses themselves, especially in the realm of sexuality and gender. Let me know if I said anything that was, like, problematic or untrue in this video, because I'm kind of just saying shit. I'm just talking off the top of my head on my own personal experience regarding gender. And I'm not super educated on gender, sexuality, and all that stuff. I'm just talking about my own experience. So please, if I said anything that was untrue or harmful, let me know. TLDR, I am a demigirl. I still resonate with femininity, but I don't consider myself to be, like, 100% woman. It's just uncomfortable for me. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I am autistic. And another thing, I've noticed that so many of the online spaces that I'm in, like my Discord server, for example, so many people are autistic and so many people are LGBTQ+. I know it's not logical to make a conclusion based off of one example like that, but come on. Like, my Discord server is, I challenge you to find somebody who is not part of the LGBTQ+ community. I challenge you to find somebody who is not autistic, genuinely. And it feels really happy and accepting in there. And I love it. It's like, I finally found myself. Now, I don't know if this is where I'm gonna stay, you know? Gender is fluid, gender identity is fluid, sexuality can be fluid. All those things can be fluid. But I do know that where I'm at right now has me much happier than where I was before. Much, much happier. This community, this identity, everything. I feel so much more comfortable and aligned with my true identity and my true values. Does that make sense? Shout out gay people. Again, let me know if I said any bullshit. And make sure to be kind to yourself and take care of yourself and follow my Twitch, okay? Okay. Meow.